The lexical approach is a way of analyzing and teaching language based on the idea that it's made of lexical units rather than grammatical structures. The units are words, chunks formed by collocations and fixed phrases. Example: the phrase rescue attempts are being hampered by bad weather is a chunk of language and almost a fixed phrase. It's formed by the collocations rescue plus attempts, rescue attempt plus hampered, hampered plus by, hampered by plus bad weather. In the classroom, a simple activity to incorporate the lexical approach is to encourage learners to identify and record lexical chunks and fixed phrases in the text they read. In the article, "What does the lexical approach look like?" The principles of the lexical approach have been around since Michael Lewis published the lexical approach 10 years ago. It seems, however, what many teachers and researchers don't have a clear idea of what the lexical approach actually looks like in practice. Lexical chunk is an umbrella term which includes all the other terms. We define a lexical chunk as any part of group of words which are commonly found together or in close proximity. Collocations is also include the term lexical chunk, but we refer to it separately from time to time. So we define it as a pair of lexical contents were commonly found together. Here are some examples with lexical chunks that are not collocations. By the way, up to now, upside down, if I were you, a long way off, good of my mind. Lexical chunks that are collocations: totally convinced, struck accent, terrible accident, sense of humor, sounds exciting, brings good luck. How are the learners going to learn the lexical items they need? One of the criticisms level of the lexical approach is its lack of detailed learning theory. It is worth noting, however, that Lewis argues the lexical approach is not a break with the communicative approach, but a development of it. He makes a helpful summary of the findings from first language acquisition research, which he thinks are relevant to second language acquisition. Number 1. Language is not learned by learning individual sounds and structures and then combining them, but by an increasing ability to break down wholes into parts. Number 2. Grammar is occurring by a process of observing hypotheses and experiment. Number 3. We can use whole phrases without understanding their constituent parts. Number 4. Acquisition is accelerated by contact with a sympathetic interlocutor with a higher level of competence in the target language. In our view, it is possible or even desirable to attempt to teach an unlimited number of lexical chunks, but it is beneficial for language learners to gain exposure to the lexical chunks and they gain experience analyzing those chunks in order being the process of internationalization. We believe it, like Lewis, that encouraging learners to notice language-specific lexical chunks and collocations is central to any methodology connected to a lexical view of language. It is our assertion that learning materials and teachers can be best help learners achieve nothing of lexical chunks by combining a language awareness approach to learn.